Morning guys, George here. Hey guys, so I thought I'd continue my food security video series and cover another plant that I thought, or a vegetable I thought was just an amazing piece of your food security and should be part of your food security. Um, if if you're interested in that, and if you have the space. It's a space hog. However, it will keep without much effort, provided you don't let it get too cold. You can put it in a cool room if you have one, or a closet in the back of the house. It's not too warm or cold. And that is your winter squash. I have a couple examples here. Here's one. This was picked back in September, and now we're in May. I believe today is Cinco de Mayo. So this today, this little pumpkin here is about 8 months old, and it's still edible. It's still good. It's still solid and heavy, and that's kept that long without any refrigeration or much effort. This is a variety I've been breeding myself. I do my own, I experiment with my own varieties of pumpkins and squash and corn and things like that. Here's another one. Again, that one's really heavy. Dense. 8 months old, 7 or 8 months old. This is another variety I'm working on developing. And that's something you can do for your food security, food that you can put aside and have all year round until this growing season starts again. However, remember, they take a lot of space. They minimum of 100 square feet. When I grow a giant pumpkin, it takes 1,000 square feet for one pumpkin plant with one piece of fruit off of it. So they do take up a lot of space. Typically, I'll have one of these guys will take up 200 square feet. So a lot of space. They're space hogs. You need to have an area where you can let them run. Gonna cover one more thing briefly. When you do develop your own varieties of vegetables, take good records. I'm the worst, absolutely the worst. I'll share all my mistakes with you. Here is an example. This is one I'm developing myself. I call it Angel Hair, and it's a spaghetti squash. It's really fine. It's crossed with some excellent flavored squashes, so it has a more buttery flavor. It's not that bland, yucky spaghetti squash that tastes like air that you get at this grocery store. So it has a nice buttery flavor about it. And I've written on my notes, this is all the notes I have on it, other than whatever I got in my memory. And all it says is Angel Hair 2019. I didn't write down how big the parent plant was. I didn't write down any other information. That is how bad I am with my record keeping, and I'm going to endeavor this year to be better at it. Here's another case. I don't even know what this is. I've got it in a bag. It says 48 pounds. I have no idea. There's even I made a little paper note in there. It says 48 pounds. And these are some real extreme examples of how bad you can get with your record keeping. I'm going to assume this was probably a giant banana squash, because I've been making my banana squashes breeding for larger and larger sizes on my banana squash. But I have no idea what year this is, what generation plant it is, if I had crossed it with anything. Bad record keeping. Again, you want to take as many notes as you can and write them down. These I stumbled across as I was going through my selection for seeds this year, what I wanted to do. So yeah, that's what not to do. I'm going to be the one guy on YouTube that shares what not to do. If you want to learn what to do every time, I'm probably not the guy, but I'll show you exactly what I did wrong. I will try to, and that's how I learn is through mistakes, not through perfection. And if you're one of those people, this is probably a channel for you. So on that note, here we are. We're still doing the off of that note, we're still doing the buckets here. I've got my little beans are doing wonderful. I don't know if you guys can see that. My tomatoes doing fine. It's no fruit on it yet. It was doing okay. And the Russian potatoes are rocking and rolling, doing good. Over here, pepper's not so hot, and the little eggplant's not so hot. And again, I didn't use a potting medium in here. This was just soil out of the garden, and so I suspect these would be doing a lot better if I had used a potting medium. If you can afford to do that, you want to do that. Here I didn't do it, and you can see that the soil is kind of compacted a little bit. I'm trying to avoid that by watering from below, but it's difficult when the plants are small. Yeah, if I'd used a potting medium, it would have had vermiculite in it, perlite, something along that lines. This doesn't have that. Has some rocks, and so the soil wants to compact. The roots aren't able to breathe as well, and that's in the bucket method. And I'm going to continue on this. Neat thing about the buckets is I can bring them in and out. All these plants are coming in and out in the day, trying to catch up, get some speed on, grow faster. I'm still, I think last night was 31 degrees, the night before was 27. We're still freezing here, so they're still having to stay in. I'm not able to plant outside much more than some lettuce items. So gonna start the Pimp My Bucket series. My wife doesn't want these on her deck. They're somewhat unattractive. So I'm gonna throw out the challenge. I'm gonna ask you guys, if you follow the channel, if you think that's a neato idea, to share this idea. The Pimp My Bucket challenge. So take your 5-gallon bucket, paint it, make it attractive, make it something that you'd want to have out in front of your house, in front of your family, on your deck. I think that's probably an oversight on my part. Not everybody wants an ugly bucket on their deck. They want a pretty planter, but if you can't afford it, that can be an issue. So I think what I'm going to do is I've got some spray paint. This is chalkboard paint. And I think what I might do is I'm going to take one of these and put chalkboard paint on it and make a little chalkboard that you could draw on with chalk. We'll see. We'll see if it sticks. It doesn't want to stick. I may have to sand and primer these a little bit before that chalkboard paint will stick. That'll be, I'll choose one of these, or I'll grab a separate bucket and do that. But that's the Pimp My Bucket challenge I'm going to probably share. Maybe I'll do a whole video on that. Alright guys, this is something to think about. Your pumpkins, winter squash, they keep all year. Also think about developing your own varieties. It's not that difficult. There can be some frustration with it, as they don't stabilize right away. It takes some time, and it takes some years to get them to where they're what you want them to be. It sometimes can be a little frustrating, but it's also fun. So anyways, you guys have a great day. Share. I'm not a very good sharer. I don't say go to my Instagram, Twitter, and all that nonsense. I'm the worst YouTuber in the world. So if you got better things to do with your day, go do them. Enjoy the day. See ya.